Hi, it's Achim from InnerSpace Explorers. Today we want to talk about the future of open circuit technical diving, deep diving, helium diving, Trimix. Before we get into this topic, please hit the subscribe button if you have not yet. And if you subscribe, please also hit that little notification so you get a notification when we upload new content, which is normally once a week. Let's talk about open circuit Trimix diving. So, till a couple of years ago, that was the normal thing to do. You go diving, means 99% open circuit, and just a few people, or for very extreme dives, would go on rebreathers. So a couple of years ago, the helium became kind of a shortage, and the prices went really up. So at the moment, I don't know where it is in your place. Please leave a comment down there and let me know how it is where you live regarding prices. I, at the moment, for a 50-liter tank with 300 bars, pay 800 euros, which is ridiculous. I can remember back in the day when I was still running the dive center, a double 12, so double 80 cubic feet in that range, 2135, I was charging 40 euros for. So when I look at today's helium prices, not possible. So obviously that makes open circuit Trimix diving really questionable. The question is, or the question that I get a lot is, what's ISE doing? Do you still teach open circuit technical diving? The answer to that clearly is yes, because technical diving does not necessarily define deep. So technical, especially when I look at our level 1 curriculum, I always say the focus on that course is to figure out if you're mentally able to go into an environment that does not allow you to panic bail out to the surface. So you have to sort your stuff on the water. And that has nothing to do with open circuit or CCR. And obviously, from a training perspective, it makes more sense to do that open circuit, because especially if you mess up, you do not flood the rebreather, etc. And the skills that you learn there are obviously also very useful in every sort of diving. It doesn't matter if you're diving in 5 meters of water with a single tank, or if you're diving in 100 meters in a technical environment. You need to have the skills and the mental ability to stop, think, and then solve a problem underwater and not panic away. And that's what the training is all about. Same goes for all the other skills like line work, SMBs, gas sharing, touch contact. I mean, it's a long list. And that obviously doesn't have to do something with open circuit or not open circuit. But clearly, if we think about deeper diving, then the focus will be more and more about rebreathers. And I don't want to go too much into detail. You probably saw the video, the Aquastep video, and I announced there that there will be some stuff coming up. You know that we as an agency are clearly into MCCR rebreathers for a variety of reasons. I put a couple of links in the description where 2 videos where I talk about this in detail and why we do what we do and why we focus on MCCRs instead of ECCRs. And there will be obviously new rebreathers coming up. It's a bit hard for me because there's 2 people sitting here in front of the camera. It's InnerSpace Explorers, Achim, and then there's the owner of Aquastep now, and I do not want to mix up these 2 things. There's something similar in the diving community, and people not really appreciated that. I think you know what I mean. And I do not want to build this connection that ISE is somehow connected with a manufacturer or something like that. That's not going to happen. And so, At the moment, we clearly focus on the KISS Classic, which I still think is one of the rebreathers when it comes to serious exploration, because it's super simple, nothing you can fix with a Swiss Army knife, and it really doesn't do anything on its own. So it's always the diver that makes a decision based on information he has, and not the rebreather forcing you to react on something that the rebreather did. But there might be something new coming up anyway. The future of open circuit Trimix, unless there's a new source of helium coming up somewhere and the helium prices drop dramatically, I don't see it. So the last time I did a deep Trimix dive open circuit was basically when I did the last expedition on when I found this wreck. Again, I'll put a link in the description if you haven't seen that video. That was a 70-meter dive, and I had gas ready basically there, and from a logistical standpoint of view for that specific dive, I actually preferred the open circuit. But to be honest, I didn't buy the gas for that dive. I just had it sitting there, so I had to use it at some point anyway. And but it's at the other hand, it's a nice example, because it was a solo dive. It was low to no vis. It was super narrow, and it was a penetration dive. And I think I talk about it in the video, because people ask, like, why didn't you do that on a rebreather? And there's a couple of things why I didn't do it. And I just think the environment and the setup for that dive would have made a rebreather dive probably more challenging. I won't say more dangerous, but I just felt that it's more convenient to do it open circuit. So it will be hard to draw a clear line and say no more open circuit Trimix diving, but clearly the focus will be more on rebreathers. And of course, a lot of people will argue, like, yeah, rebreather, that's like 10 grand to get a proper one, and this and that. Yeah, it's a huge investment. But on the other hand, if you look at your open circuit gear, when you think about doubles, stages, regulators for all these spec plates, wings, etc., it also sums up. I mean, if you look at your open circuit stuff and then add on top a rebreather, yeah, of course, that's a lot of money. But when you look at all your open circuit gear compared to the rebreather, yeah, the rebreather might be a bit more expensive. But you also have to think about open circuit gear that needs to be replaced, needs to be maintained, stuff needs to be replaced. It also adds up. I don't think it's such a huge difference when it comes to price. And then obviously it depends on how much do you dive. So if you frequently diving technical stuff, which means, let's say at least once a week, you go diving at least every weekend, and you dive helium mixes every weekend, that rebreather will pay off really, really, really soon. Yeah, you still need a bit of open circuit gear for your bailout, but you most probably won't touch it. So you can use that gas for a very long time in your bailout, and then make the calculation that will pay off relatively soon, and then the rebreather is actually not more expensive than open circuit. In fact, you will actually save money in the long term, and plus all the other benefits of the rebreather. Yeah, of course, the rebreather has more potential failure points than open circuit, but it also provides a lot more solutions. So on open circuit, it's very black and white. It delivers gas, it doesn't deliver gas. If you cannot breathe, it's a very obvious issue and you can react to it. Yeah, the rebreather holds a lot more different problems, and but at the same time, it always offers a lot more potential solutions for these issues. And so in the end, it all comes down to proper training, creative thinking diver and be really familiar with the unit. So I would not consider the rebreather more hazardous or more dangerous. It's just a very different approach, and it's definitely worth to go that route. And to finally answer the question, what's ISE doing? Yeah, we clearly focus on the rebreather, but we will not skip open circuit training. So I hope that answers the question. Please, as I said before, let me know what the helium prices in your area are and what your personal feelings are. Are you still diving open circuit Trimix? If so, why? If not, why not? What are you doing instead? What rebreather did you choose, etc.? Would love to have a bit of an open discussion there. If you want to discuss these things more in detail with me personally, please check out the Patreon site. Super nice community there, and that's where I normally answer things in detail. And yeah, stay safe, enjoy your helium diving, open circuit or closed circuit, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.